Good evening, everyone. I'll call the City Council to order at 8 p.m. on Monday, March 11, 2024. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We have 14 items on this evening's agenda, and I will ask the clerk to please read agenda item number 1.
Minutes of the City Council meeting, February 26, 2024.
Councilor Brown.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to accept and place on file the minutes.
Motion made and second to accept and place on file the minutes. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The minutes are filed 11-0. Agenda item number 2.
Communication from the Mayor regarding notification of appointment of Joseph Bisol as Chair of the Council on Aging Board pursuant to Chapter 161, Section 2 of the Code, replacing James Confrey.
Councilor Navin.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to accept and place on file.
Motion's made and second to accept and place on file the communication. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Communication is filed 11-0. Agenda item number 3.
Communication from the Mayor regarding grant acceptance in the amount of $23,100 from the Massachusetts Cultural Council awarded to the Marlborough Cultural Council in support of worthy arts, humanities, music, and youth-based initiatives in our community.
Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to approve the grant, please.
Motion's made and seconded to approve the grant. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The grant is approved 11-0. Agenda item number 4.
Communication from the Mayor regarding transfer request in the amount of $786,500 from free cash to fire equipment for the purchase of an E1 fire engine for the fire department.
Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to refer to the Finance Committee.
Motion's made and seconded to refer to the Finance Committee. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? It's going to Finance 11-0. Agenda item number 5. Councilor Preciado.
I'll have to recuse myself on the matter because I'm a butter.
We'll let the record reflect that Councilor Preciado will recuse himself from participating in agenda item number 5. Yes, agenda item number 5.
Communication from Solicitor Jason Grossfield regarding executed settlement agreement in the matter of JW Capital Partners LLC and Marlborough TOTG LLC versus the Marlborough City Council.
Councilor Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. While the agenda item does include a executed settlement agreement, it also needs to be made clear that the City Council will need to approve an amended site plan once a remand comes back from the court. So this is not final, but at this point, the only thing that needs to be done is to accept and place on file the communication.
Motion made and seconded to accept and place on file the communication. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The communication is filed, 10 in favor, 1 abstained. Agenda item number 6.
Notice from the Retirement Board of a meeting on March 26, 2024 to consider a cost of living adjustment to qualifying retirees and beneficiaries of the Marlborough Retirement System.
Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to accept and place on file the communication, please.
Motion is made and seconded to accept and place on file the communication. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The communication is filed 11-0. Agenda item number 7.
Petition of Mass Electric and Verizon New England to install one joint-owned pole on Cimarrano Drive, beginning at a point approximately 20 feet east of the center line of the intersection of Value Way, and install 50 feet of C12 midspan number 13, approximately 90 feet from pole number 12, towards pole 1 to allow installation of a 600 kVAR cap bank.
Councilor Landers.
Thank you, Mr. President. Please refer to Public Service Committee, and also I guess we should pick a date for public hearing.
How about just set a date for the public hearing? We'll let the public hearing after that decide if you want to go to public service.
So you're talking, what, March?
You just want to just send it for a public hearing at this point in time. You good with that?
Yep.
Motion made and seconded to set a public hearing for the item number 7, and that public hearing will be March 25th. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? It's going to have a public hearing on March 25th. 11-0. Agenda item number 8.
Application, application for a signed special permit from Eric Lane on behalf of Advanced Math and Science Academy Charter School to install a freestanding EMC sign at 165-201 Forest Street.
Council Vital.
I'd like to abstain.
Let the record reflect that Councilor Viola abstained from participating. Councilor Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. City Code 526 has a line in it that exempts government entities from having to comply with the section regarding EMC signs. Legal has confirmed that AMSA is a governmental entity and therefore does not need a special permit from this body. So I'm going to move to accept and place on file the communication. And the building commissioner is aware of this and knows that he can just move forward with approving the application.
Nice work, Councilor Roby. Motion made and seconded to accept and place on file the item. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The item is filed. 10 in favor, 1 abstained. Agenda item number 9.
Communication from the Central Mass Mosquito Control Project regarding budget notification for fiscal year 25 and compliance certification policy.
Councilor Orem.
Thank you, Mr. President. You know, some Halloween I'm going to dress up as a mosquito, but in all seriousness, Central Mass Mosquito has indicated to us that they have to go up on their budget for the fiscal year 25, and they're announcing it in this letter. I do want to note, though, that you'll notice it's signed by Timothy McGlinchey. He replaced Timothy Deschamps, who was there for many years, and I worked with him side by side when I worked in public health in Ashland. But I wish him the best, and I would like to, just so you know, Shrewsbury and Marlborough have the same increase. I figured we compare a community we all love. So with that said, I would like to accept. Sorry, Steve. I'd like to accept and place this on file.
Motion's made and seconded to accept and place on file the communication. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor? Opposed? The communication is filed 11-0. Agenda item number 10.
Minutes of boards, commissions, and committees.
Mr. President.
Councilor Doucette.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Motion to accept and place on file the minutes of the boards, commissions, and committees.
Motion's made and seconded to accept and place on file all the minutes. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The minutes are filed 11-0. Agenda item number 11.
Claims.
Councilor Brown.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to send the claims to legal department.
Motion made and seconded to send the claims to the legal department. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Claims are going to a legal 11-0. Reports of committees. Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. Finance Committee met on March 4th, 2024 at 7 p.m. We had 2 items on the agenda that evening. Order number 24-100-9097. Communication from the mayor proposed increase to the hours of the senior assessor from 35 hours to 40 hours per week, and a transfer request in the amount of $3,653 from reserves for salaries to senior assessor to cover the salary increase for the remainder of FY 2024. Chair Irish read the communication from the mayor. Principal Assessor Valade submitted that the increase in hours will be better aligned with the senior assessor's position, with similar positions in other communities that work a 40-hour week. Chair Irish stated that his concerns that the employee will, other employees will want to extend their hours to 40 hours as well from the standard 35 hours per week to increase their salaries. Councilor Vidal expressed a similar concern, replying to Councilor Ossing's question regarding the $200,000 funded in the assessor's office and the reliance on outside vendors. Mayor Dumas stated that the accounts for outside vendors will be decreased in next year's budget. Responding to Councilor Landers, Mr. Valade stated the assessor's office is open from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m., and the new hours under this ordinance would be 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mr. Valade stated his greatest concern is that the senior assessor will be able to join him during the day on field inspections as a result of the extra hours. On a motion by Councilor Brown, seconded by Councilor Orem, the Finance Committee recommended approval of the mayor's request as submitted. Vote carried 4-1. Chair Irish opposed. Next was the Finance Committee discussed order number 24-100-9082. Mayor Dumas's request for a new position entitled Communication and Special Projects Director. The order remains in committee after a motion by Councilor Brown to approve, seconded by Councilor Orem. The vote did not carry by a vote to 2 in favor and 3 opposed. Meeting adjourned at 8:24 p.m. Thank you, Mr. President. End of my report.
Thank you, Councilor Irish. Are there any other reports of committee? Councilor Roby.
I don't have a report. However, I do have a question on this report. It's my understanding that items taken in committees are recommendations. The recommendation on the one for the request for the communications director didn't carry.
Right.
But shouldn't it go out to the full committee to still have a discussion? Because it wasn't moved to reconsider in committee. They took a vote. The vote didn't carry. But that recommendation still needs to come to the full committee. Is that not correct?
Well, my understanding, just like here on the floor, if we make a motion to approve something or disapprove something and it doesn't carry, you need a positive motion. Now, if the motion was to disapprove, then it would have come to the full council. But the only motion was to approve. That didn't carry. No one made a motion to disapprove, so therefore it stays in Finance Committee.
Okay, thank you.
Any other reports of committee? Hearing none. Agenda item number 12.
Excuse me. Order number 24-100-9084, the reappointments to the Planning Board of Sean Fay, Barbara Fenby, and Christopher Russ for 5-year terms to expire on February 5th, 2029. The recommendation of the Personnel Committee is to approve.
Councilor Navin.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move the recommendation of committee, which is to approve.
Motion made, second to move the recommendation of the committee, which is to approve the 3 reappointments. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The 3 appointments are approved, 11-0. Agenda item 13.
Order number 24-100-9079, mid-year transfer request totaling $1,202,100 from various departments for fiscal year 24, which moves funds from and to accounts as outlined in the transfer sheets. Recommendation of the Finance Committee is to approve in the amount of $1,197,100.
Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move the recommendation of committee to approve the mid-year transfer in the amount of $1,197,100, please.
Motion's made and seconded to approve the transfer of $1,197,100. Is there any discussion on the motion? Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. Oh,
yeah,
I've lost my friend.
So
it was seconded to approve the...
Been seconded. It's up for discussion. You can make amendments or do whatever you'd like at this point in time.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to amend the Finance Committee's recommendation to include the $5,000 transfer for the mayor's expense as the information was satisfactory that the mayor sent down, and I want to thank the mayor for sending that down.
Motion's made and seconded to amend by adding back in the $5,000. Is there any discussion on that amendment to add back in the $5,000? Seeing none, all those in favor of adding back in the $5,000? That is approved, 11-0. Motion to approve, oh, go ahead, Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to approve the mid-year transfer as originally submitted by the mayor, totaling $1,202,100, please.
Motion made and second to approve the revised total of $1,202,100, which is the original submittal by the mayor. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? It is approved, 11-0. Agenda item number 14.
Order number 24-100-9080, the establishment of the Opioid Settlement Revenue Fund and a transfer request in the amount of $162,202.95 from free cash to the Opioid Settlement Special Revenue Fund. Recommendation of the Finance Committee is to approve the transfer in the amount of $162,202.95 and the creation of the Opioid Settlement Special Revenue Fund as amended with the 6 items. Did you want to read those?
No. Thank you. Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move the recommendation of committee to approve the opioid settlement special revenue fund and the transfer request for $162,202.95 from free cash to the opioid settlement special revenue fund, please.
Motion made and second to approve the opioid settlement fund, the transfer, and the amended items on the finance report. Any discussion on the motion? Councilor Orm.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a quick note, as you might have heard in the subcommittee meeting, I'm 100% in support of this. I want to thank the mayor for making sure this money didn't get lost in free cash, as well as I'm looking forward to seeing, hopefully, some programs coming up soon in Marlborough for opioid use disorder. I'm sure we will, now that this money is hopefully going to be voted to be in a special account. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor Roma. Is there any other discussion on the motion? Councilor Fuccello.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to take a second to also thank you for providing those 6 bullet points at our last Finance Committee meeting. And I also am in support of this, and I look forward to seeing some progress to be made going forward.
Thank you, Councilor Fuccello. Anyone else? On the motion to approve the establishment of the opioid fund with a transfer of $162,202.95 with the additional items on the finance report. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? It carries 11-0. Councilor Navin.
Move to adjourn.
Motion's made and second to adjourn. All those in favor of adjourning? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We are adjourned at 8:15. Thank you, everyone.